This is how to crochet the V+Puff stitch. For the beginning chain, we need multiples of 6 plus 7, and I'm starting with 31 chains. From here, we are going to add a V-stitch into the 5th chain from the hook, and a V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all into the same stitch. So here I'm adding my first double crochet, and I'm going to pinch each section after I yarn over and pull through 2, and push the loops back onto the body of the hook, and that'll help me keep even stitch sizes while I'm working. I do this every time I crochet. This is not just for demonstration. If you can get your hands to develop that muscle memory, it'll really help on your crochet journey. After the V-stitch, we are going to skip 2 chains and add a puff stitch into the 3rd chain. For that, we're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, push the loops back onto the body of the hook, yarn over, hold the loop back, insert your hook into the chain, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, hold the loops back, insert the hook into the chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. Next, we're going to use our middle finger and thumb to pinch the bottom part of all those loops, so that when we yarn over and rotate our hook down, we can wiggle it through without it getting caught on anything. Once we're through all the loops, we're going to chain 1 to finish the puff stitch. Next, you can pull the chain so that the loop is minimized, because after pulling up all those loops, it will be big. And then we're going to skip 2 chains and add a V-stitch, skip 2 chains and add a puff stitch, all the way until the end. Again, the V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all into the same chain. And the puff stitch is yarn over, insert your hook and pull up a loop 3 times, and then yarn over and pull through all the loops on the hook, and then chain 1 to close your puff stitch. Then when you get to the end, you're going to skip the second to last chain and add a double crochet into the last one. So before I talk you through the rest of the row, a very common question I get about the beginning chain is, what does it mean when I say 6 plus 7? So essentially you need multiples of 6, and then at the end you add 7 for the edges, meaning you need at least 6 chains to have one iteration of the puff stitch and a V-stitch with the 2 skipped chains in between. So depending on how many times you want to do that, if you're making a bigger blanket, you might need 20 of that. So you would take 20 times 6, which is 120, and then you add 7 so that you can have the even straight edges for both sides of your work. So the second part of that question is, how do you apply that to your own project? So you would take the final measurements that you're looking for. Let's say you're looking for the width, and the width that you want is 40 inches, and the width that you got from your swatch is 8 inches. So you would need the width of 5 swatches to get to 40 inches. So if this swatch required 5 repeats for the design, then you know that 5 times 5 is 25, and you would multiply 25 times 6 to get to 150, and then you add 7 for your final stitch or chain count for the beginning chain. I can make a more elaborate video with like a little diagram or whiteboard or whatever, just let me know, but that is how you would apply that math to your project. But if you enjoy these close-up stitch tutorials, be sure to like and follow. I post them every single day on my page. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments of any of my videos. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you in part 2.